Hey, welcome back, man. It's me again, Mission, and today I'm going to share with you workout from home. It's been a while since I'm away, so we're back with another season 3. So what to expect today? I think if you're living around the Klang Valley area, Kuala Lumpur and Selangor, Putrajaya, you will probably be experiencing conditional movement control order, also known as CMCO, right? You're stuck at home, you play your part to have a physical distancing, and you want to prevent yourself or others from the virus, COVID-19. So what we can do at home is now I know some of you guys when the government announced a few days ago, probably some of you guys, yes, I also feel it. It's annoying. It's very annoying. We just get away from it, and then now we have to go back a step back again. So the idea is that what can we do today? So what you will receive today is probably some perspective. So a little bit of like kind of like philosophical stuff, kind of like the mental approach of how you go. Now I'm a huge fan of going to the mental approach, because if you have a strong mind, a strong body will usually tag along to see results or whatever. So you just tuning in, welcome back, man. It's good to have your back, and just share. So what you can do during CMCO? What if you gain weight? Today I will share also some practical items, practical tips also. How you can prevent the weight gain during CMCO, or better still, how we can actually take advantage of the CMCO. Perhaps there's a lot of silver lining during this kind of period. Now, I know some of you maybe a salary, you receive a pay cut or some sort of unpaid leave, or your business, if you're starting a business, some of you guys, I feel you, man, your business is slowing down again. Just when it pick up, it gets slowed down. Or whether your food business, clothing, retails, I think everyone's going to partially affect on this. So we use this is CMCO. Hopefully it's for the next 14 days. We do not know, man, how will the 14 days be. But what we can sure is we better control what we can. Whatever we cannot control, we don't sweat too much, because it's beyond our control. We can't do much. So it's making the most out of everything. All right. So here you go. So when it comes to CMCO, probably some people will ask, hey, I'm going to gain weight. What can I do? So the question you ask, actually, you already know the answer. Probably you just want affirmation, right? To be frank, if you're scared of losing, you can't lose weight, or even worse, you might gain weight during CMCO. First of all, you have to take a step back and ask yourself, what is causing it to happen? What is the cause behind it? It's good to understand the cause, so at least you can know the root problem and how to solve it. Now, you can put in the comments and tell me what causes you to gain weight during MCO or CMCO. Alright, you can put it in the comment, and I want to hear from you. Alright, who knows, maybe you want to share your part as well. So probably while you guys are writing the answer, I'll receive usually is 2 regular feedbacks. Alright, why you gain weight. First reason is you're very inactive. For example, you used to walk to the train, or you used to jog in the park, or you used to just go outside more frequent. There's more footsteps, because at the end of the day, what causes weight loss or fat loss is on the caloric deficit, meaning you are reducing calories. Now there's 2 ways to reduce calorie. The first way is a very simple set of ideas. The first way is to reduce your burn calories via moving, right? It doesn't have to be exercise. It can be also non-exercise. For example, walking around, a few steps, walking to the toilet, fidgeting, using my hand, like moving, like what I'm doing right now. So these are things that helps to burn those little fat. We call it non-exercise activity thermogenesis, known as NEAT, N-E-A-T, right? So there's another way. So we talk about NEAT, you exercise. The second one that most people give why I gain weight is because I usually overeat, right? I will talk about the silver lining after that, yeah. But for now, people will say they overeat. Man, ordering food has never been easier than before. I agree, log at the phone, you go to social media, the food delivery app is going to pop up even if you don't use the food app itself, right? It's going to tell you like, hey, stay at home, we give you discounts or something 50% off, buy one free one, use promo code blah blah blah. So people get very intrigued with all these items, you know, and that's perfectly fine. That is, man, we're not going to judge. But if your goal is on the caloric deficit, you want to find idea to reduce food calorie intake, right? Now, so there's two ways. First, to reduce your exercise. Second is to reduce your, what is that called? Is to reduce your food intake, right? Via calories, right? So these two identify. So you can identify these two causes. So most people, the two problem is number one, they move lesser during the CMCO. Number two, they overeat, maybe because they're bored, they have snacks, they overeat the food and calories and stuff. So usually these two major reasons that cause you to gain weight during CMCO. So now that we have identified the problem, the next thing we want to do is to actually, now I'm going to talk about a little bit about food and all this, a little bit, not so much. I'll talk on the later episodes because it's such a broad topic, okay? But what I can assure you is this simple set of ideas that I will tell you. It's like calories, having good nutrients, all these things is going to dictate a big role into getting, to prevent yourself, in this case, to lose weight for you know, during not just CMCO actually and beyond. Now remember, I'm going to tell you something very harsh in case you don't know. You gain weight not because of CMCO or MCO. You have been overweight, or you know, the weight you cannot control even way before COVID, right? Unless you gain, I don't know, 10 kilo early this year, that is a very different story. But for most people, actually before COVID, you were already, you know, having some weight issues already. So you want to acknowledge, unfortunately, it's better for you to acknowledge that these are truths. Don't run away from the truth, alright? Instead, what you can do is acknowledge it and find ways how you can improve the situation, right? Which later I'll tell you how you can take advantage of the CMCO, currently what we're experiencing in the Klang Valley area, right? And also, my Sabah friends as well. Let's not forget that, right? If I feel the bar, you know, at Sabah, I know things are very wacky at your area. I just hope the best for you guys, for you and me, man. So now the next thing we talk about that, I will talk about. So there's two ways. Remember, I said there's two ways to to reduce the weight. How to prevent it? Number one is you increase your activity. Number two is you have you reduce your caloric intake via food consumption. Now the goal, you don't need. The good news about reducing calorie, right? A lot of people think what they would think usually is they will transform from a rice, from a fried rice, all the way to what is that called? A very horrible salad. That is not the goal. The goal is to take it nice and slow, and you know, try to work, try to doing very sensible stuff, very sustainable stuff, right? So what you shouldn't go from one rice to like cut all the rice and just have salad. What you want to do is just take a look at yourself. Can you reduce some junk food? Can you avoid some? Just go to your kitchen and just find out. Does your kitchen has the followings: cookies, sweets, snacks, instant noodles? Now, I'm not going to judge you. These are just examples of junk food. Junk food means I would define as very high in process, high in calories, very low in nutrients. Now, if you have, let's say, if your whole kitchen, 70% is all this food, and 30% is like your whole food via fruit, vegetables, some sort of meat. You don't have all these things, and you have a lot of junk food. I recommend you to, you know, just want to put it aside or donate it to people, you know, or let other family members eat it. Bring it to your office if you can go to the office, right? It's all those simple things, just to eliminate all the junk food, control your environment, right? You'll be amazed by doing that. By default, you actually reduce some of the calories here and there a little bit. So it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be that drastic. Besides, if you go very drastic, it's very not sustainable for you, right? Like some of my clients, when they lose weight, man, we don't do a lot of special stuff. Just go into the basics, cut down as much junk as you can. Take note of the cooking method. Instead of fry, can you go stir fry? Better still, can you go steam or microwave? Whatever that helps to reduce the calorie. And they will realize they still can be very full. At the same time, they can still, you know, it's not so drastic, it's not so very horrible, right? So you can actually use some of these techniques, right? Some of these tips and tricks. So we talk about all the food intake. The next thing you also want to take note is your exercise, because you can have you can reduce your food calorie intake. That would be great, but doing some exercise helps to let's just say improve your body, not just on the physical end, but also not just on the physique end, but also on the strength end, right? Like I always say, as one grows old, the bone density, muscle mass will deteriorate. That means it will go down. For example, an 18-year-old person will definitely be stronger by nature compared to an old woman who is 70-year-old. Usually, right? Not all the time, but most of the time, especially in our surroundings. So, doing all these exercise help to keep yourself healthy. Healthy in the sense of getting stronger, not on the physique, but also on the strength as well. So, what you want to do, which I'll bring to point number 2, is how you can work out from home. Now, if you watch the first 1, 2, or this is the 3rd season, you probably find this very repetitive, because number 1, repetitive is how we learn. Number 2, it's actually sticking to all these basic simple ideas. And I think you can do all the running and jogging, but if you are not a fan of that, maybe doing weight training could be the thing, you know. Like for me, I don't like to go and sweat a lot in the hot sun. I like indoors. So what I do is, I will work out at home, you know, simple things like that. You don't need, of course, ideally it would be better if you have a dumbbell, a barbell, you know, or some sort of gym equipment. That would be great. But if you don't have, you can always create. If you go and look back at my first 2 previous seasons, the exercise I use, the equipment I use is, I would say, almost every household will have. It's nothing special. For example, do you have a broomstick? Do you have a water bottle? Do you have a bag of rice? Do you have a backpack? You just take all this simple movement and just, you know, do all this exercise. It's just plain simple. And the reason why all these ideas are not spread so fast is because they are just too simple, right? So sometimes people like to find that special technique. I think people forgot to see people need to learn how to do the small stuff first. It's like doing mathematics, you know. A lot of people want to do algebra, but most people don't want to learn the simple plus, minus, times, divide, if you will. You want to learn all these basics first, then you can jump to algebra, which will be way more fun, right? Probably if most people don't master the basics, they will go on to the advanced. They're going to have a hard time with very minimum results. So, how do you work out from home? Let's say if you have bottled water. So I use this example here. Just give me a while I move the movement, alright? Exercise-wise also, there's not a lot of changes actually. It's just going back to those simple set of ideas. So I have a water bottle with me, right? So these are just examples, alright? So throughout this whole season, again, I will give you a refresher course for free. I'm not going to bill you anything. Just share what I know, alright? So it's just doing back all these simple things. Some sort of upper body, some sort of lower body movement, and some sort of movement pattern, which I will explain to you what the pattern is from time to time, as in episodes by episode, right? So, if you look over here, first movement is you want to do a squat. So, hope you guys don't mind I'm wearing my house sandals, right? So, what you want to do is some sort of squat. Now, how do you squat? You probably see this 1,000 times from my video, so just gonna share again. You stand straight. You place your feet to your shoulder width. Once you reach to your shoulder width, your feet move it to 10 to 2 o'clock or 9 to 1 o'clock, right? Whichever is convenient. Place your hand in the center. You go all the way down. Make sure your elbow is touching your middle of your thigh, not on top here, at the middle of the thigh. That is how you squat, right? And when you come up, you squeeze your butt, your leg pressed against the floor. So showing you the side view is the same thing, right? So a lot of people like to complicate stuff. Like I said, I'm not a fan of complicating stuff. It's just going back to the basics, right? So let's say I have this water bottle, right? Take a nice big breath, and the belly, and sit in between your legs, and come up. See? Just like this, just do a simple time. How many reps should I do? Common question people ask. Yeah, do as many as you like, as long as your form do not suffer. You know, this is just simple things. Again, don't worry about how many reps, how many sets, all these things. More on that when you are getting stronger and stronger. Right now, focus on the technique. Ask yourself how you want to, how you want to do the form properly. When you squat, can you feel your thighs? Can you feel your butt? Can you feel your core? Ask yourself simple things like that. It's just these basic simple ideas, right? You don't need to check your heart rate. You don't need to check, whether you have a knee, whether you have a, how to say? You don't need to check whether you have you always see that commercial personal trainer will tell you your lordosis or your kyphosis and all those things. You don't need to know all this too much, right? Or you want to check what is your heart rate. You want to check whether whether your feet is flat arch or flat or arch or half foot or all those things. Those are details, but they are not the main picture. The main picture is you do it properly. So using the squat for example again, you hold it, ask yourself, when you go down, do you control like how I'm doing right now? When you come up, do you squeeze your butt? Did your leg press the floor? Simple things like that, alright? So a squat pattern, next one is going to be some sort of row, alright? So we call it a row because it's like rowing the boat, you're doing like this. So from the chest up, you lift your hand up, chest up, then from here, take off, pull your elbow to the elbow want to go behind. So from elbow behind, right? So the rest of the movement is exactly the same. You bend down, you bend over, take a nice here, you take the bottom and you squeeze. Think of use your elbow and elbow to the ceiling. Then you go down, control. Elbow to the ceiling, go down, control. See? It's just all this thing. Then ask yourself, can you feel on the back? Can you feel it on your, what is that called? On your core. Alright? Is your leg a problem? If your leg is problem, chances are your form is not right, or even worse, your leg is not strong. So you want to develop it from time to time. So you have a squat, you have some sort of row. Next one is some sort of hinge. Hinge means you are not squatting down here, your hips is going backward. So think chest up, butt back. If you do properly the hinge movement, you will feel a hamstring, you will feel some sort of lower back as well. You feel this one, then congratulations, that's what you do. Just think chest up and butt back. Your knees can bend, but don't go forward. So repeat here, knees can bend and just shift all the way back. And you come out straight with your knees. That is about it. So there's some hinge, some squat, some row, and final one. This is probably the easiest among all. Is the press. Alright, so I'm going to show you how it's done. Right? So don't worry about how many reps or set. Just do learn the basic movement. Take it, and kind of just press, go down and control. It's just those basic simple things. So for example, when you have this water bottle, what do? How do you do a press? Well, from here, the goal is to train on the shoulder. From here, press all the way up, go down, control. Once again, hold it up here, press, go down, control. Press, go down, control. That's it. That is how you do a variation of press. So for most exercise, you will notice there is going to be some sort of squat, some sort of hinge, some sort of row, some sort of press. And pretty much that is about it. Okay? So how you might be thinking, how does this help me to burn my belly fat or whatever? Why don't you train the core, bro? Well, I got a simple answer for this. If you keep training, this thing is called, like example, you train a certain muscle group thinking you will burn the fat as a specific muscle group. For example, if you think doing crunches is going to burn the belly fat. This thing is called in the fitness world or the exercise world, we call this spot reduction. So example, you keep training your arm, you think your arm is going to be from before and go to after, you just flat out like that. This is example of spot reduction. Spot reduction does not, has shown quite a lot of time, it does not happen, right? Even if it does, the payload is very little. In fact, if you really want to reduce your belly fat, try being on a caloric deficit. Repeat back on the earlier video that I said, which is how do you do it? In doing more exercise, and at the same time, guess what? Reduce your calorie intake. Via what? Is it via eating less? No, it's via your food choices. Think before you eat, that's a simple saying. So it's going back all to this circle. So as you can see, I actually go back all the way one round again. But training is actually like this. And to be very frank, If I were to create, I don't need 3 seasons to tell you how different things are. You probably find season 1, 2 is quite same with 3. And that's about it, because this is the truth. There is nothing much special about the exercise. Yes, it's bad for business for me, because if I'm a personal trainer, I'm going to tell you the same thing. But then what am I thinking? Why you need some personal trainer? You probably need a trainer for 2 reasons. Number 1, hold yourself accountable, because if you rely on your own feelings, and I've been that before, the days you want to do and there will be days you don't want to do. Think about like a company. So a company, there's always auditors, external auditors. Why do you need external auditors for a company? You guess it right, to prevent any, have a check and balance, to prevent any unnecessary wrongdoings, right, or unwanted wrongdoings, and also to make sure the company is has some sort of quality assurance, right? So same, pretty much why you want to engage a trainer to a client, if you will, or you as a viewer, right? Don't worry, this is not selling anything or what. I'm just letting you know, if you want to engage someone outside, this is the usage there. I won't say there's a need, it's more like if you have it, they'll be great. You know, like an external auditor. External auditors are cool, you know, and makes your progress faster, so you don't keep yourself. Now, on to the next topic, what we talk about CMCO. I've already taught you exercise in a nutshell will be that sound of movement. Don't worry about how many reps or set, you just do until you get yourself right. Practice. If you sweat it out, good. That's the first step. Remember, you don't need to start it very great. You just need to start. That's all. You remember, every beginner, every expert was once a beginner as well. I was definitely once a beginner as well. So, hey, I'm nobody. I'm also a beginner. I also can do it. So can you. There is not much of changes, right? So now we talk about how you can prevent the weight gain. So, right, reducing the calories, doing more exercise. I tell you how to do the exercise. I will show you. Don't worry, as episodes by episodes, I will share again how to do it right, how to do it properly. Now again, you don't need a lot of fancy equipment. You don't need to get the latest dumbbells in the market. You don't need to go and buy something from online. All you need is household item. Then don't be embarrassed when people say, "What are you? You know, you're going to take a dump." In probably example, you're staying with your parents. Suddenly your parents say, "Why are you taking a household item and doing stuff?" Well, if they are your friend or they are your family, they should be supporting you, because you are taking the first step to lose weight, right? So definitely there is something that can be done. Don't worry about all this, what I call distractions, the noise. You know, people tell you, "Oh, why are you doing this? You know, don't do it, don't waste your time." They are not wrong. Usually people will say it like this because they themselves failed it before, right? So if they failed before, obviously if you can do it, you're gonna embarrass them, right? So instead of embarrassing them, they prefer not to be embarrassed, so they tell you, "You know what, you can't do, join the cannot do club," you know. So we are here to prevent all these things. So you go and do your thing. Let the neighbor laugh at you trying to take a broomstick, trying to squat. Hey, you know what? That's fine with them. The last time I checked, laughing does not help to lose weight. Technically you can, but it's a long way, right? The last time I checked, having negative thoughts will not improve the situation, right? And also the last time I checked, nobody cannot lose weight or cannot gain results just because they don't have a dumbbell or a barbell. It can be done. Look at people who are in the, people who are way before in the 1900s or 18th century. How do you think they train? They don't have much equipment, right? Some of them in the past, there's even evidence, even people taking rocks, as early as during the Viking times. They just take rock and just train. Take a huge rock and try to train. That's how they train. So it's actually doable. You don't need to find very special items. And if you don't know how to, what I call, use the household item and see it as a workout tool, let me know. And here's the challenge. You send me a picture, you share me what household item you have, and I'll try to make a workout from it. I'm going to do it for you, I'm not going to pay you anything. I'm not going to charge you anything. You just can be anything. You take a picture, you show me a picture of, a pot. I can actually show you, in my mind I can really think what exercise I can do using the pots. You give me a broomstick, no problem. You give me a bag of rice, I can do it. You give me a cat, I don't have a cat with me, but if you give me a cat or dog, man, we can always make something out of it, right? So it's all about being, whether you want to do it or not, right? So now that we talk about what to do, how to prevent CMCO, but what about, actually I'm not going to tell you what not to do, I'm going to tell you what to do already. I'm going to tell you probably a little bit out of the box, if you will. Maybe CMCO or MCO or whatever O that what they call it, can be a blessing among us. Now think about it, if you are being stuck to work from home, your sleeping hours hopefully should be better, right? Now I know there will be people who give me feedback like, hey, ever since this CMCO or work from home things, man, it's just horrible. My boss still texts me at 9 p.m, my boss still texts me at 7 p.m. But here's the thing, your boss do not know whether you are doing a workout at 7 or 9 p.m. also. In other words, you get to control your timing. I don't think your boss look at you every single minute. I don't think so. If you really think your boss is really trying to bug you, very simple. When you work out, put on your music, put your phone to airplane mode, and if you ask why, just say you have a nap. And I'm very sure the boss is not going to scold you because you take a nap. That is, if you actually tell your boss you are taking a nap, you can say, oh, the line is blurred, I don't know what happened, right? It's not that the boss knows, right? So you can take just 1 hour of your entire, or doing this whole CMCO or CMCO thing to do things that you have always wanted to do. It doesn't have to be workout. Even if it's like lately, I've always wanted to read books. Never got the chance, never got the time. I took the opportunity to do. I get to sleep more. And so, by the way, sleeping actually helps to reduce weight, in case you don't know. Because the lesser stress you have, when you have a lot of stress, you have water retention. If you have lesser stress, lesser water retention, you'll be more calm. And the best part is, you will lose weight a little bit along here and there. I should tell you a very cool example of myself lately. Before MCO and after, a day before CMCO and the day 1 of CMCO, which was yesterday, I lost almost 1 kilo just by sleeping more. That's it. My stress was way lesser. I don't need to wake up so early in the morning. I don't need to sleep at a certain time. There was no pressure, and that helped me a lot. So if people like me can benefit, obviously people like you can benefit even more, right? So CMCO actually can be a blessing in disguise. So when you are trying to, you want to lose weight. Remember just now we talked about the kitchen having all the things. Now here's the deal. When there is no CMCO or pre-COVID time, you always have to go out and eat because your friends want you to join them, or because you have a function, you have dinner. Now you are being forced to stay at home. Guess what? Take the opportunity to control your environment. Make your own food. And when you make your own food, wouldn't that be considered as, hey, see where I'm going? Non-exercise activity thermogenesis, meaning you're doing non-exercise, fidgeting a little bit more, moving here and there. It's all these simple things. These are actually blessings in disguise if you use the CMCO to your advantage. And it's not the psychological part, it's you just need to learn how to see the other side of the coin. That is about it, alright? So take the chance, control your food, control your environment, get as much sleep as you can. If you can work out, put your phone in airplane mode if you really need to, and work out for 1 or 2 hours, right? Usually I think 2 hours is more than enough for most people. 2 hours is including, if you are with me, including time to shower and eat, and warm up and all those things. So it definitely can be done. So don't worry about can I do it or not. Actually you can. You just need the first step. So set a schedule, tell yourself, right, today I'm going to do my work, and after I finish my work, I'm going to work out. Simple things like that. Or maybe just spend on weekends instead of going visit the restaurants like you used to. Use the time to, make your own food. You be your own restaurant. You create your own food. And if you make your own food, you can control the calories. You example. Now remember, restaurants only have 2 reasons. They have only 2 objectives. Number 1, make the food as delicious as possible. Number 2, it wants profit, right? In other words, they don't care whether Jane wants to lose weight or Ali is trying to gain weight. They just want to make food nice. So when you are at home, you get to, that means restaurants add a lot of calories here and there via sauce, seasoning, extra, whatever food and so on. So when you are at home, you get to your advantage and you control your environment. So if you go to my fridge has a lot of, I would say mostly whole food. I don't even have a snack. The closest snack I can think of is fruits, protein bar. Again, this is my lifestyle. I do not think you need to copy, but you can always start small. Clear out all the junk food. Even if you have junk food at home, hey, don't buy already. If you can bring to office, share with your office. If you cannot go out, just consume it, or I'm not a fan of wasting food, you see. So try to finish it as fast as you can, or just don't buy anymore. Simple as that. Right? It's all these simple things. I'm going to tell you what to do. These are just suggestions. So CMCO can be a blessing where you can take advantage of, since you can't go out, you won't be able to be distracted by a lot of all this food and so on, right? So you ever haven't thought of that? No. But all you can say is, oh, MCO caused me weight gain. Ask yourself what causes the weight gain and how you can improve. Most likely, like I said, is usually the food and the activity. If your activity has decreased, you can use it to your advantage. For example, since you're going to work from home very frequent, it's good you just maybe, like I have a client who used to sit at the laptop and so on. And I told her to just remove the chair away, put the laptop, and just typing things. That is going to help a bit. She's going to be standing, doing a bit. Sometimes she wants to reach to a coffee, she got to move out. So creating some of this non-exercise activity once again. So you can use CMCO to your advantage. When you are in office, you will not have the advantage to do it, because when you are at the office, you are being forced to sit in the cubicle. If you move yourself away from your office, someone's going to say, hey, why is this person missing? But when you work from home, no one is going to judge you. As long as they see an email is being replied, a document is being submitted, they will not bug you. So use this to your advantage. You can create your own stand table. We call it stand table, by the way. So use a stand table to your advantage, move a bit. If you're at home, make your own food. You're going to move a lot, you're going to cut a lot of things, you're going to do groceries. Alright, be sure you make a mask, wear a mask, have yourself that 1 meter distance and all, whatever, follow whatever the guidelines given. With that being said, once you buy your food, you will need to move a lot here and there. So use it to your advantage. The idea is to promote a very consistent and good habits, if you will, so that you can see results in the long run. So MCO actually is not a disadvantage, if anything, but you may use the CMCO to your advantage, right? Because there's so many external noises are being shut, so you are in zone. You take control, whatever that you can. At the end of the day, it's your body, it's your call. So make the most out of it, right? If you always wait for that great day or that fine day, I believe this is the day. You're going to stay at home for 12 days or 13 days, I lost count. But hey, use that to your advantage. Control your environment, set yourself a routine, work out consistently. Now you don't have an excuse. In the past you would say, oh, every day the gym is so far from me, I don't want to go. Now it is just a few steps away. No excuse already, alright? If you have bought weights or resistance band, more reasons to not use the equipment, alright? Take the equipment and do it. So at the end of the day, it's all about, just trying to make the most out of the event, if you will. In this case, CMCO is the event. So take the event and make a full advantage, because I believe if I can do it, so can you, right? So this is how we start. This is not even first episode, this is a pilot episode. Just good to have the chance to finally have this season 3 again. Thank you for your time, and let's stay tuned for more season 3, alright? So on my very first episode, which I will debut on next week. So what I'm going to talk about next week is probably just some simple things that are some tips and tricks, if you will, on how you can reduce your calorie intake, right? And as for Thursday, usually when we work out, I will give you guys something that is a little bit interesting. We always do about workout. What about stretching, right? Someone requested it. You know who you are. Thank you so much. I never thought about stretching a thing. So you work in the office, you're very stressed, or after work from home, the whole body very tense, very tight. Hey, maybe some stretching you can do, right? Alright. Now I'm not a yogi master or some yoga guru or something, but you can always do some of these simple stretches which we adopt from them, and you know, just use it, do what we can, right? So I look forward for all these things, right? So welcome back. It's good to have you all, and I'll catch up with you next time. So till then, bye bye.